Yeah, absolutely. Island hole. This is separator at the end. You know, there's a drop zone if you don't make it, but most people. No, I go H1.
H1. Yeah.
I threw that exact shot. I like the hyzer shot.
Boom. That looks great from Simon. Just needs to stop rolling.
Interesting. What? What?
Out of bounds.
Oh my god. That's... he was parked, basically.
Yeah. And it just didn't want to
That
stop.
looked like magic or something.
Uh-huh. And
he was OB.
Yeah, he was on the other side of the string.
Wow, that's...
Hits the bottom, hits the top, goes in. It's
Not today.
Okay. A little turned over.
This is in danger of going out of bounds to
Wow,
the right.
yeah.
But
I think they're discussing whether or not Paul has to go to the drop zone.
That's not in play on this hole.
It says, if MPO gold tee shot lands OB in the water, proceed to drop zone 1.
But this isn't an island hole.
It's not an island hole.
So yeah, so I crossed in bounds up there.
If you're OB in water, you go to this tee.
I'm gonna play provisional, but that's not how it should be. It isn't an island.
so Paul's drive must have gone in the water on the long side, which is
In the water.
in the water. And that is a very strange... Oh, look at this. Dropping and Paul's gone out of bounds long. And once again...
Here's what's interesting about this shot.
My
is
goodness.
if he
Drop zone?
doesn't play the drop right there.
That's the thing.
He's
that
in the
doesn't make
water.
sense.
And I feel like he
So
played a
he's saying
perfect
if I
shot
landed
and it
right
still
here,
dropped and
I
went
would take
deep.
it from here, but because I landed right there, I take it from back there. That's not the rule, Steve.
Like I said, if you just want to play it both ways like you did, I'm not
Yep.
Well, Steve's the TD. Steve, it's the same OB line. It comes right here.
So the corner would be that line right there.
It's the
which would
same line.
define right, and that's why we said at the beginning of the round, the rope defines, on this side of the pond, the rope defines the water. Because the same thing happens over there.
Why isn't that defined though in the rules? That is the exact spot where it ends.
Good argument.
I 100% am side with Paul McBeth here. I think that it's arbitrary that water and land are different behind that line. That
Agreed.
line designates the backside. And if you're OB on the backside, I feel like you should be able to play it from where it crossed. It seems like a bit of a strange rule that they're going to need to clear up. It's a bit confusing even for the players. It sounded like it was maybe even a little bit confusing for Steve, the TD of the event, and hopefully they get that cleared up. Paul actually won his appeal post-round on the hole 8. So when he actually played the provisional, he took a 4. The way that we showed it on camera, and at the time the way that was scored on the scorecard was a 5. But overnight they looked at the rule and they realized that was the correct way to play it. And so Ricky actually did not have a 3-shot advantage over Paul. It was only 2.
You know what? I absolutely love that. That's a message to you guys at home. Always play your provisionals. If you think that you might know the rules a little better, or even have an idea, or
Right.
interpret the rules different than somebody else, play provisional.
Yep.
And right here, mcbeth starts off 1 stroke closer to
Yep.
Ricky Wysocki because of it.
Yeah, we've got an island hole, ladies and gentlemen. Longer tee this year, so brings in a low ceiling, but you got to
Right?
get over that wall.
With this, I've never seen this
Sit in.
play.
Gosh.
probably out. There should definitely be a line.
What it looks like, but I don't, yeah, you don't know. It'll probably be the inside of it. But you never know. It's, yeah, what's the line?
Yeah, why is there no line?
That's
I
pretty
mean,
bad.
the line is the inside of this. It has to be.
You would
Well,
think.
we gotta make sure.
Yeah.
I couldn't see it any other way. The only
Probably
way
no
it's-
officials still.
The only way it's safe is if it's safe on top of the wood.
That would mean that this is safe then. Do you think that's safe?
I wouldn't think so, but I'd love it if there was an official.
If on top is safe, then it would mean the outside, right?
It's got to be the inside. I mean, I can't see it any other way.
Why is there no line here?
The order in which the out of bounds play. The out of bounds that are listed on there lines out the order. I don't know where the line is on this one, but it should say. I'm assuming it says.
I don't think it's probably in, but I would
pylon.
love to hear the reasoning why there's no line, or just have someone who knows what they're talking about be around.
I agree. Because he said the order was like line, banner, then natural, but that's none of these.
Nobody's here. Is basically what we're hearing.
What if you landed on top of it?
It shouldn't be. You wouldn't think it'd be in, but someone.
Just play it provisional. I mean,
Sure.
Yeah, just play it. Sure. Take a picture and show it to Steve.
I don't think you're allowed to do that.
No? Yeah, you can.
Really?
Yeah. No?
I don't
do
think
a
so.
picture, but not video.
Yeah, there you go.
So
just take a picture first.
play
maybe.
it as if it was the outside,
Okay.
and take the meter, right?
Steve says to play a provisional, and he'll talk with you when you get back.
Sounds fine. So I'm gonna play it as if the OB was the outside, because that's the only way I'd be in bounds.
Yeah, they've decided to take a provisional.
No, he's lining up something, and yeah,
So
provisional.
this is a provisional from Nate.
Yeah, because his shot skipped, rolled in between those railroad ties, but there wasn't exactly a defined line, no string, no paint. The call ended up being that the railroad ties acted as the OB line, and as we know, it's the OB line can be as thin as it needs to be, a string a millimeter thick, or as thick as it needs to be. And in this case, a railroad tie, which is about a foot thick, and that whole line is out of bounds.
Yes.
So really, your disc has to be touching inbounds to be considered inbounds. Nate's unfortunately was not, by a matter of 2 inches maybe.
Yeah, not much.
And so there was a bit of discussion. They weren't, the card wasn't exactly sure because, like I said, there was no string line, no paint line. So it was a tough call, a slightly tense moment there.
Absolutely.
For a minute or so with all that discussion, especially late in the round where things are pretty close and your leader just missed the island and is going to be ending up taking a bogey at best. So, it was a tense moment. Unfortunately, Nate had to go back to the drop zone. He missed the island by a couple inches. Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
and a real just a disorienting moment because this late in the round, it's so tight. That's a 2-stroke swing. How do you even know what to, do you at this point he could be 2 down or even, and if he's 2 down, he's right in the mix.
Yeah. And Kev with the good birdie, Ricky with the good birdie. Now all of a sudden, Kev's only 3 back, Rick's 2 back, Chris is 1 back, and Nate, yeah, like you're saying, it's they're kind of thinking provisional still, so it's like Nate is either 2 back or tied.
Exactly.
Like what is going on? And
so this
this was a fun moment.
Is what ended up happening. This is Steve Dodge on speakerphone. That is him giving his ruling on speakerphone, saying that it is officially out of bounds, and Nate had taken that 4.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, right. He's still kind of thinking whether or not it was a birdie or a bogey, but in the end, it was a bogey, and Dickerson